See ourselves?
See ourselves, yes.
Okay, cool.
Good to go?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to Season 3, Episode 11 of The Movement.
The Movement.
We're officially live, ready to get the show on the road. We usually have a couple more young fellas that repeat that after, but they I don't know, actually, they're probably sleeping or working or whatever it may be, but we're ready to have a great show for you guys today. I'm looking forward to this show. It's going to be a great topic. We are here with a couple other brothers in the building today. We have Ali and Mohamed Bazzi, so go ahead and give them a round of applause. Big Rams, we appreciate you. It's not Ramsey, it's actually the crowd that we have here giving you guys a round of applause. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, like I said, this is Season 3, Episode 11 of the Movement Podcast. We got Ali and Mohamed Bazzi here in the building today. We're going to be talking about the Corner Pocket, the new place in town that you got to stop by if you're looking for a nice place to hang out with your buddies or whoever it may be and looking for a great night. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you stop by the Corner Pocket. We're going to let these guys talk about that, even dig into, dive into their journeys, man. These guys, the more I learned about them, I'm like, these guys are some interesting individuals. You know what I'm saying? So they're brothers as well. So that should be interesting. Funny stories. Might ask them a couple stories about growing up with each other, that is. But before we do that, be sure to follow us on all of our socials. You have YouTube, Oz Media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under Oz Media. You can even listen to our shows on Apple and Spotify podcasts under Oz Media. If you're at home and you're watching this live and you want to call in, the number is 313-306-1750. Again, 313-306-1750. Feel free to call in. I got the phone right here next to me. I'll be sure to answer. Shout out to our sponsors, of course, as well. We have to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. We have the Qahwah House. You got BC Adhesives, Hanley International Academy, Sid Bees, Balkan House, Juice Box, and Specialty Medical Center. We appreciate all of them and their support. We're going to start off with the best honey place in town, which is Sidr Bees. So Ramsey, let's go ahead and give a shout out to them, and then we're going to officially get the show on the road. So shout out to Sid Bees.
All right, Yusuf, it looks like we have a little dilemma in our hands. We have this deliciously smelling sabaya right in front of us, but it looks like we're missing one important thing.
Yeah, it looks like we're missing some asal, some honey.
And you know where the best place to go to for honey? That is Sidr Bees. Sidr Bees is a remarkable company that stands at the forefront of the honey industry. With an unwavering commitment to quality, being authentic, and sustainability, Sidr Bees has carved its name as a trusted provider of premium honey products. The company's dedication to preserving the purity of honey is evident in every jar they produce. Sidr Bees sets a standard that goes beyond taste. It's a brand that captures nature's essence and brings it to the discerning consumers who appreciate the true goodness that honey offers. Sid Bees is not just a honey company, it's a testament to the beauty of nature and the passion to deliver excellence in every drop.
For real, likewise. All right, we're officially ready to get this show on the road. I'll start off to the man to the right of me. We have here Coach Ali in the building today.
Mohamed.
Mohamed, I'm sorry, Coach Mohamed. I don't know, I keep messing it up. So we got Coach Mohamed here. I put it in my notes the wrong way. So Coach Mohamed is right here to the right of me. He is rocking his U of M Dearborn gear. One of the coaches for U of M Dearborn basketball. By the way, star athletes at Star International Academy, professional basketball player, for Lebanon, if I'm correct. Right. Played college ball as well. I'm over here telling your own story, but can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Just maybe something I may have not mentioned, and maybe touch on some of those things that I did mention.
Right. Thank you for the introduction. That was great.
Of course.
We grew up at Star. We love it. We to this day, we go back to our roots and make sure, they know we're there to support them. But they're really the reason why I'd say we are what we are. Star is one of those schools. I mean, if you don't go to Fortson or Dearborn or Crestwood, everybody kind of looks down on you. But I mean, Ali did a great job at paving the way to where everybody knew that Star was a school not to mess around with.
So older brother, by the way.
Older brother.
Yeah.
Way older. He's really old.
Okay.
So, he made sure to he put Star on the map.
Nice.
He's 6 years older than me, so I got to watch it firsthand on how he really, Star was, you'd say Star and people would laugh, but after Ali went there and he had a great career there, played college, and we'll get into that, he really led the way for me. really led the way for me. But yeah, I played at Star for 3 years. Freshman, sophomore year, tore my ACL. Came back my junior year, my senior year. Then I went and played at Madonna University, which was an experience. And then I left Madonna after 2 years, and I went and played professionally in Lebanon for 2.5 seasons. And then the whole Thawra happened and COVID happened, and back here, and we're trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
Trying to make a buck.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And that's awesome. And then going to the big brother now, Ali, so you paved the way. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey? I know you currently work in the U.S. Department. And so just tell us a little bit about what you do and what you did and what got you pretty much to this point.
Yeah, so like Mohamed said, man, Star was our only thing that we could kind of resort to kind of open up the doors for us, and it's important, right? And so in our community, it's other than the Dearborn Heights area, you have the communities out there, I would say, are not as close-knit as we are in our own area. So when you bring people from Hamtramck or from Dearborn or from Canton that go to Star, it's kind of its own little melting pot, right? So that's where Mohamed kind of thrived. Led the way, I would say maybe, but I also have to look up to people, right? I didn't start my own set. That's me being myself, right? So I would say I paved the way for my brother, right? Because in the back of my mind, I was like, after me, what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
This is while I was in high school, right? And I remember this guy, I had to yank him out of his bed to come play basketball initially, right? And then he fell in love with it. So while I was in high school, I wore the number 21, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to talk to the athletic director, which was my uncle at the time. And I'm like, I'm not going to talk to the athletic director. I'm going to allow my brother to wear number 21. And I don't want that number to be retired. So that was a little snippet in my mind where I'm like, okay, let me pass it on. And I think that's important not only during my high school time, but even now with the corner pocket, right? Mohamed came up with the idea. It was all Mohamed's idea, right? And I'm like, you know what? It's a pretty good idea. Me coming from a law enforcement background, which I work for the Department of Homeland Security right now, and I'm like, let's get these kids out of the street, because ultimately, me working the job that I do, you see a bunch of younger guys, the guys that are in the studio right now. You see a bunch of them kind of veering off to a different way, and it's not customary for us, right? Especially in our community. So I told Mohamed, I said, you know what? Is it a great idea? Sure, because we're going to be the first pool hall in Dearborn Heights and in Dearborn, right? Yeah. Nobody's ever done it. That's 1 point. 2, we get these kids off the street. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're all there. Me and Mohamed pop in. We see repeat customers. They're all, ages of 15 and up, right? 14 and up. So as far as paving the way, I would say I paved the way for my brother, but there was also people like my dad who paved the way for me and for him, right? So that we could succeed and look at things in a different way, look at things in a different lens. So that's my 2 cents.
No, for sure. And it's important, man, because, I sometimes ask myself, what are these young fellas doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? It crosses your mind, if these guys are not playing sports, or being active with whatever it may be, the extracurricular activity, what are they doing after school?
Correct, yeah.
And a lot of times it's on some kind of, technology device, which obviously it takes away from their youth.
Right.
So you want them to go out and enjoy these moments and, have a good time. So, I think it's a great idea as well. So kudos to the both of you. So is that number retired, by the way, now in Dearborn Star, or is it?
They said it's retired, right, Mohamed?
Yeah, they didn't.
It's up on the rafters or anything?
Not yet. It's supposed to be soon.
Not yet. Yeah, the only thing that's up in the rafters is so Ali was the all-time leading scorer at Star, 1,000 and what?
1,140.
So you hit that 1,000 piece. Yeah.
I came in there and
obliterated it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So the only thing that's hanging up in the rafters right now is my name with the number
1,400.
1436 in 3 seasons. And
in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
That's mashallah. That's very impressive. What were you averaging? 30 a game or what?
33, right?
33 my junior year, 28 my senior year, and I think like 17 or 18 my freshman year.
Nice.
So that's the only thing up in the rafters. I think eventually they'll end up retiring it, but I don't know. I don't know what their mindset is. They've had a lot of turnover in terms of like administration, coaches, athletic directors.
Yeah.
So they'll eventually retire it, and I think they should. But at the same time, we want it to come from them. We don't want it to come from us.
Yeah.
We want it. It's good to like keep it in the back of our minds, but we'll never tell them, hey, it's time to retire. Let it come from them.
Well, if there's anybody listening right now, make sure y'all send that email, anonymous email. We'll do the part for you guys, man. So yes, I love your work. Go Coach Mo said Blossom Learning Center. Nice. I don't know if that's somebody you may know. So they just want to make sure they threw that out there.
Quick question for both of you guys. You guys are both hoopers,
right.
you know, clearly.
Who's the better?
That was my next question.
He was gonna go there.
We always get asked that question. We always get. Well,
It's awkward. Go ahead.
Before that question comes, I want to say, who would you guys compare yourself to the NBA? If you guys are players,
go ahead, Mo. I can tell you who Mo is right now.
You know what? How about you compare your brother to an NBA player? Because it's going.
You go first.
So go ahead.
If I had Mohamed Shot when I was in high school, I'd be in the NBA.
really?
Wow, mashallah.
The kid can shoot, man.
You got a solid height too, solid size. So
Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, 6 feet tall. But if I had Mohamed Shot, game over.
So who would you compare him to in the NBA?
Steph Curry. Steph Curry. I'm sorry.
Oh, Seth Curry.
No, not Steph. no. Steph Curry for sure. Yeah.
All right, and who would you compare your brother to?
All right, so the reason why we're Spurs fans, Ali's a lefty.
Okay.
Ali had long hair.
Yep.
Ali couldn't shoot it. Sounds a lot like Manu Ginobili.
Yeah.
When we grew up at Hemlock Park, that's where we used to play. You know, we didn't have video games. My dad, like, I had a PS2 when a PS4 was out.
Yeah.
And I was only allowed to play it during like winter break and spring break.
Yeah.
If during school year, no weekends, none of that.
Smart. Sounds like a very smart man.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, he
I'm
did a hell of
gonna
a
do
job.
that with my kids. But so all we would do is be at Hemlock. We would hoop all day. We'd get our butt kicked all day. Everybody would call him Ginobili there.
That's funny.
And I'm like, who the heck is this Ginobili guy?
You know, it's messed up that a lot of people that might be watching this might not even know
who
Ginobili.
Ginobili is.
I
Yeah.
don't know who he is.
But Ginobili was the man.
Yeah.
At the moment, I think he was the greatest overseas player. Him and maybe Nowitzki.
Right.
You know, but obviously there's been so much overseas players coming to the NBA the last few years. But Ginobili and Nowitzki to me were top two for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you taking right now overseas, Nowitzki or Jokic?
I gotta give it to Jokic. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Jokic
is a beast.
Yeah, man, he's
A little
crazy.
too early to give it to you.
I know.
You got to give it to you.
I mean, because he's just like,
Triple-double machine.
Yeah, he's like
Triple-double
he's
machine.
great.
And you know what? He doesn't even try. The guy, you look at him pregame, he's yawning.
Yeah, it's
like-
crazy. I actually laugh when I watch him because like even like yesterday I was watching the Suns and the Suns and Nuggets game and like he just plays the game like he doesn't want to be there.
Right.
But he's dominating everybody.
Dominating him, man.
Funny story. When I was in Lebanon, I had a trainer named Jad Fatouh. He was in Mercury Club. It was right on the water. It was really cool. And he used to always tell me about this guy that he used to train in Serbia. Jokic. And I'm like, nobody knew who Jokic was. I mean, he was probably averaging like 12 and 8 at that point. And I used to be like, all right, Jad. You know, everybody was, I used to train this guy. He's in the NBA. I'm like, all right, Jad, he'll be good. He'll be decent, blah, blah, blah. I had no idea he would end up like this.
You know, it's crazy. Jokic and Nurkic were on the same team.
Yep.
I think when they started in the NBA. And at that moment, I thought Nurkic was the better player.
Me too. Everybody did.
You know, and when they traded him, I was like, what are they
Crazy.
doing?
Yeah.
But now
Turkish,
Jokic.
Nurkic tore his ACL, I think, or tore his knee up. And
Yeah.
he came back. He was dominant prior to that.
Broke his leg.
Yeah.
Broke his leg.
Yeah,
That's what
his
it was.
ankle, yeah.
Dominant prior to that, and then came back. I mean, he's doing decent for himself, but nothing compared to what Jokic.
Yeah. Jokic is, obviously the MVP of the league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, you both make us proud. Said Abir Bazzi. So just giving
Oh,
you
that's
guys
my mom.
shout out.
Hey, Mom, love you.
Shout out to mom. I'm sure she did an awesome job as well,
She is awesome.
judging of how great you guys are. So, going back to the corner pocket, I know you kind of touched on it, but maybe you kind of give your 2 cents on what was the goal, what was the reasoning of opening that up?
Yeah, so at Star on Fridays we had half days, so we get out at 12:15, and there was nothing for anybody to do, so we would go to the rack in Livonia, and you obviously don't have a lot of money in high school, but for the $10 that I had in my pocket, it was all spent there, and so when years went by, 6-7 years, and me and Ada were sitting talking, I'm like, bro, there's no pool halls. There's nothing, and everybody goes to the rack, and the rack has their own customers too. So
Shout out to the rack, by the way.
yeah, they're great,
Good people. Good people.
Very respectful people. Like we have a good relationship with him, and he's like, and they have their own guys. You know, the older crew. You know, different nationalities that go there. And we're like, why not? You know. So we started talking to the city and how we could possibly do it, because Dearborn Heights is a little weird in terms of like zoning and planning. So we went through a 3 or 4 month process trying to get this done. This is after we negotiated for another 3-4 months with the landlord on the lease. So you're talking 8 months just to get pen to paper.
Yeah.
And once they gave us the okay, I mean, we were pretty much ready to go in terms of like we had everything set up. Everybody that we're getting tables from, all the little stuff, the fridges and making the place nice. And yeah, our biggest thing was, again, there's nothing for anybody to do under the age of 21. Not everybody wants to go to a hookah lounge. I mean, now the coffee shops getting opened up is great because it actually gives them something to do. But I mean, it's not necessarily a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
But even a year ago, there was only Qahwah House.
Yeah.
In reality.
Shout out to Qahwah House, by the way. One of our sponsors.
One of your sponsors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so it was only them, and I don't think they had one in Dearborn Heights at the time.
Yeah, they didn't. They just opened the Dearborn Heights
You're right.
location.
Yeah.
So there was nothing for anybody to do. So we decided to do that, and alhamdulillah, it's been great. And I think the best part of it is you build relationships with these kids, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the kids know who Ali is. A lot of the older people know who Ali is. A lot of the younger guys know who I am. And so you see yourself, you have a bunch of little friends, really.
Yeah.
You know, like I went to their Crestwood and Divine Child game yesterday for, we were recruiting some kid at Divine Child. He just signed with us. And I went to like show my sport. And I walked in and it was all the Crestwood kids and all the kids that come to the hall. I felt like I was LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. And everybody's like, what the heck is going on? So, but I become friends with them.
Yeah.
You know? I know them by their first names. They know me by my first name, and you have conversation. And that's really what it's about. Yeah. And once a week, we get 4 or 5 kids coming in here asking, hey, can I get a job? Like, you like that.
Yeah.
You want to see that. And I always take their name down, and I tell them, if I can get you in, I'll get you in. You know, so it's humbling in that way, but it's also, I don't want to say role models because I don't consider myself a role model in terms of like sorting out to be, but at least they have somebody to have a conversation with that's not talking down on them.
They could relate to.
And somebody that they can possibly relate to, which is huge.
Yeah.
Not only the whole pool hall idea is a good idea, but it's the right people who are running it. You know what I'm saying? Because just off of, just me seeing the social media stuff and now actually getting to chance to meet you guys, like, I don't know, it's just very important that they do have somebody that they can talk to. And it sounds like both of you guys, I'm sure you guys one of you are at least there every time or most of the time.
Right.
And they have that person that, you guys, you don't know, man, like, and it just started and it just opened up. So it might end up being like a situation where, a lot of people are going to be, in the future, like you guys are going to be those role models that people come to for advice and whatever it may be, because like you said, it's people who are 14 and
ultimately the plan is to make sure that we take care of our own, right? Because like if I see somebody that, God forbid, got in a car accident, right? And I see, who's in the car? Oh, that guy goes to the pool hall. You think I'm not going to stop by and be like, hey, you all right?
Yeah.
And it's happened where I go to one of the gyms in Dearborn Heights. Some guy got in a car accident, and I saw who it was. I'm like, this guy goes to the gym, not even to the pool hall. I pulled up. I'm like, hey, you're good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, okay, good. So it's a sense of like having your back, right? So that's why me and Muhammad were so like adamant going through that 8-month process with the city and planning and zoning and all that to get this approved. There was a goal in mind where we were like, listen, man, it's going to be tough. But it's going to be tough for a reason, right? With everything that's hard, there's a great reward at the end. So in our mind, we're like, you know what? Let's go through the process. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not meant to be, at least we went out swinging, right? At least we went out saying we did everything we can to make sure we could change something in the city or do something different in the city and not have your 16, 17, or 18-year-olds sneak into a hookah lounge. I'm not, and nothing against the hookah lounges. I'm just saying it's an alternative for the younger crowd to go there, have a good time. When we went in front of the planning commission, unanimously they said, we think that the city needs it for one reason. And that's because you can't go into a pool hall if you're not 21 years old. Why? Because they have drinks. Obviously, we don't serve drinks.
Yeah.
They're like, where are these kids going to go? Right?
It's true.
And a question was brought up during the planning commission was like, well, how are you going to wager and make sure that like a small friendly bet between two people at a pool hall isn't going to turn into something big? I said, listen, first of all, you guys need to understand our background is nowhere near where your mind is going. That's one. Two, that could happen anywhere. It can happen on a corner of a gas station, right? Three, this is a family-friendly zone. Like we have birthday parties, we got graduation parties, we have people's like even older people's birthday parties, right? To the point where you're just like, hey, can we rent out the whole place? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. Hey, can we bring food? Yeah, absolutely. Number one question: do you guys serve alcohol? No. And they're happy because we don't allow that, right? In our community, we don't look up to that. We want somewhere where we can go be like, you know what? I don't got to worry about fights. I don't got to worry about people acting up on somebody. I don't got to worry about nothing. It's a family-friendly zone. It's a place where everybody can be. I've had people from the ages of 2. Wallah, yesterday I was looking at the camera. There's like a 3-year-old there with his mom and dad. Mom and dad are playing pool. He's in the corner playing. We have PS5s there, so they can play PS5. We have foosball there. We got massage chairs there. So like you try to incorporate all that so you can like hit every single age demographic, and that was the goal in mind.
There you go, man. That's awesome. And then it's exactly what the community needed. I could tell you that right now. So just wanted to go give another shout out from Sidr Bees. Said, proud of you, Baba, and Ammu Mo, Hussein, and Amelia.
Oh, no,
right?
those are my kids and my wife.
There you go. So they're giving you a shout out, giving y'all both shout outs.
Yeah,
so
thanks.
and
Love you guys.
appreciate you guys for even coming on here and and bringing this up. So so my next question is like partnerships. I know you mentioned quickly food, and I was looking through social media and I see that you guys may have had some partnerships. Don't want to assume anything.
Yeah.
So I guess what are some of like you kind of mentioned some of the things that maybe you want to reiterate, like all the things that you offer at the Corner Pocket, and then maybe what's the food partnerships that you guys may have as well.
Take it.
Yeah, so we so the really cool thing about the Corner Pocket is literally right across the side street is Fratelli's.
Yeah,
And they're great people over at Fratelli's. Shout out Fratelli's.
great food too.
Great
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
Great food. And they have that name now. You say sales, you can't say sales without saying Fratelli's.
Yep.
It's really cool. So we have a partnership with them where you actually order from us, and then one of the workers or one of us will run down and grab it for you, and we'll give it to you. We'll deliver it right to you. So that one's really cool. A1 Dogs and Burgers. They have a bunch of food trucks, and I know they're in some gas stations now. They're also set up at the hall, so hot dogs are instant, and all their recipes and they stand by their work, and their hot dogs are pretty good. I mean, you can only make a hot dog so good, but they make it the best.
Yeah.
We got La Gelati, very good people, very good friends at La Gelati. They give us their ice cream, so we have probably 50 or 60 different flavors, or like 10 different flavors, but 50 or 60 different cups in the freezer at the hall. Am I missing anybody on it?
No. I think that's it.
Yeah, and then we got coffee and espresso and all that. And then we have obviously the pool tables, foosball, ping pong, a regulation size ping pong table, PS5s, and we have the private rooms, which has really been a big hit and it's really set us apart. But basically you have your own room, so we have a lot of like, couples or siblings go there. They'll rent out a private room. You have your own pool table. You have your own TV. You have your own PS5, and nobody bothers, no noise. So we get a lot of like a girls' night out or stuff like that. They'll go there. And then we have like a lot of older couples, like date night or whatever, when with a husband and a wife, and they'll go there and they'll just sit. And it's really cool. It's really cool. And every time they come out, they're really happy, and they tell us how much they love it. So it's a different experience. We want to throw in a bunch of stuff, and we want to throw in, like Ali said, we're serving 6-year-olds to 30-year-olds, even higher. So we want to make sure there's something for everybody.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
We're
It
trying.
sounds like it, man. We definitely have to stop by there, man. Yusuf,
I'll be down.
you know, I like to tell people I'm a ping pong champion right here, man.
That's
I
not
don't play.
true,
I don't play pool.
Huge.
I
We
don't
might
play-
do a ping pong tournament. I don't know what we're
You
thinking
need to
about.
do that, man.
We're thinking about
Yeah.
it.
Because I'll join. I'm not a big pool guy. My grandpa, like in Hamtramck, like everybody used to like. I was actually like when I was proud to tell people like I was my grandpa like because they used to know it, but they don't even have a pool area in Hamtramck anymore either.
Yeah.
But I was never a pool guy. But ping pong when I went to college, there was one in like in our dorms area, and so I got like really into it. And so, I mean, listen, I ain't gonna sit here and act like I'm a professional man. You watch those guys on TV, I'd be like, how the heck do
how
they do
see the
that,
ball?
man?
Yeah.
But I think I could hang. You know what I'm saying? As long as somebody is
that in
not
mind.
professional.
Also, sorry, I don't want to miss anybody. For our bigger catering stuff. So we have obviously people come in. The way we set up the lounge is pretty cool. We have the 2 open lounges and we have the 3 private rooms, but there's actually doors there, so you could close them up.
Yeah, so the whole place turns into a private room.
The whole place turns
Nice.
into a private room. For our bigger caterings, we deal with the great people at Family Bakery on Warren Southfield.
Yeah.
they've been there since for 30 years, and then they cater for like we've done a bunch of birthday parties, corporate events, stuff like that, and they'll come in and they'll cater everything. So dealing with them has been great too.
Can't forget that.
Can't forget Family
Yeah,
Bakery.
yeah.
Can't
We worked there too. We worked there when we started working there when I was 12. You were working there since you were 12 too, right?
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, so we worked there for like 7 years, man.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Shout out to those guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
big
they're
time.
good people.
Good people.
Good people.
Well, we're going to give a shout out to our second sponsor of today, Ramsey, which is Specialty Medical Center. And then we are going to continue on the show. We got Ali Mohamed Bazzi from the Corner Pocket. We're enjoying this conversation so far. Stay tuned. We're going to continue diving into the reasoning behind opening this place up. So again, shout out to Specialty Medical Center, and we're going to keep the show going. So shout out to Specialty Medical Center.
All right, Yusuf. So the other day I was playing basketball with my friends, doing what I usually do on the court. But as I was driving to the lane, I kind of hurt my knee.
Oh man, not again.
Yeah, but this time I knew which place to go to that would take care of me the best, and that is Specialty Medical Center. Specialty Medical Center is a medical center that prides itself on patient care and its rehabilitation services. Their primary focus is developing a customized treatment plan unique to each individual patient's needs. Their center offers a full range of patient care, from diagnostic testing, pain management, physical therapy, regenerative medicine solutions, and surgical care. They currently have 2 locations, one in Dearborn and one in Sterling Heights. So if you're looking for a place that treats your medical needs the best, be sure to stop by Specialty Medical Center.
A lot of you, man. So let me go. I'm gonna make we'll do it on live too. I don't mind it. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Like my friends were pretty good at pool. I was the guy that would swing the ball like a baseball bat. All right. So basically, you guys don't want me to have a pool stick in my hand. All right. But I'm
Keep
telling
on
you,
the ping pong side.
yeah. I'll be able to ping pong. I play. I don't play video game, but I definitely could get in a Madden game or something like that. If somebody's talking smack or FIFA.
Yeah.
Right.
But I typically was not the pool. Did you play pool, Yusuf?
No, but with any game, I'm a quick learner, so I'll be good at that.
Well, he's very confident. You guys is lucky y'all didn't meet the other 2 guys too. They're
We're used to it, man.
confident group of young
You
individuals.
see all the guys that come to the pool, they're all confident.
That's
Yeah,
good.
they
That's
are.
a good thing though. I'm not
They
gonna.
are.
I'd rather
We like
have-
it. We like it.
Yeah, I'd rather have you be confident than
Absolutely.
not confident. I guess.
yeah.
But with that said, I just want to quickly just throw a quick little side thing, because I remember you were saying like you recruited somebody at the game. Watch out for Ramsey Ali right
Yeah, he was
here.
telling us before.
He's a freshman at Dearborn High.
Okay.
He's on the JV team, already starting. And he had the most points yesterday on the squad. I don't usually try to hype up, our own, because I like to have them just do it on their own. But keep an eye out. A couple years from now, maybe,
Yeah.
Ramsey, stand up. Show him how tall you are.
Yeah, he just turned
freshman,
14.
man. Look at that.
Taller
October.
than me.
Just turned 14. Mashallah.
Small legs line.
Yeah, so just keep an eye out for him.
Absolutely.
We'd love for him to get a scholarship somewhere,
Inshallah.
and inshallah, and play.
You're on my radar, Ramsey. I got you.
There you go. All right.
There you
So
go.
going back to this, so you guys partnered up with some community events at your place. Can you tell us about what those were and why is giving back to the community important to you both? We can start off with you.
So giving back to the community is big for us because, like we touched on before, right? The youth, right? We're huge on that. we sponsored a few events, which is great. I want to give a shout out to the Amity organization, Amity Foundation. We sponsored them multiple times, and they give us the opportunity for us to sponsor them, right? So it's a trust thing. We've had a few tournaments recently, and we've been having sponsors from La Gelati, different real estate agents. So like, I think it's a trust thing. It's like, you know what? These guys are going to make sure that this event goes smoothly. So we're more than happy to sponsor you. That's the way we take it, right? It's more of like, okay, you're putting our trust in us. We're going to make sure that this tournament goes well. That's one. Two, as far as the tournament goes, we want to do something where people, it breaks the monotony, right? So it breaks like your normal Friday night where you go here and you go to eat, you go do this, you go to a friend's house. Okay, night's over, right? Let's look forward to something, right? So our third tournament that's coming up in December, by the way, that's going to be probably our biggest tournament, right? It's right before the holidays, right before New Year's. It's probably going to be our biggest tournament. But we offer things like a PS5 was the first one. The second one was a 65-inch TV and $200 cash. And you have 3 prizes. You got first, second, and third place. So it gives the opportunity, if you can't win the first place prize, you got 2 more shots. That's one. 2, we try to improve ourselves from the previous tournament. So like the first tournament was 1 game elimination. I was listening to the customers. I'm like, hey, what do you guys recommend? They're like, hey, we want best 2 out of 3 at least. That way, if we have a bad game, we can bounce back and we have a chance to win it. I said, no problem. So we did best 2 out of 3. I'm like, what else you guys want? They're like, oh, we want a TV and we want cash on top of it. No problem. I'm reaching out to all these sponsors, and I'm just like, bro, how do you get this done? He's like, it's all about like intentions, right? Like the way if you're a good intended person and you have a clean heart, things will start to fall into place for you, regardless of what it is. As long as you have a good intention in doing something and you have a clean heart, it'll work out. And alhamdulillah, Hamad he's top notch when it comes to that, and he makes sure things get done. If I'm gonna say it up front, if Muhammad wasn't my brother and he was somebody else, man, I'd be screwed because I'm just as good as he is, right? So we kind of feed off of each other. Tournament time comes around, Muhammad's like, I'll do 1, 2, 3, right? Everyday operations, I'm like, Muhammad, I'll do 1, 2, 3, don't worry about it. So we kind of feed off of each other. If he doesn't do something well, I do it well. Another side note, Muhammad's extremely patient, extremely calm. I'm not, man. I'm like the opposite. So like there are times I'm like, bro, why are you so calm? I'm like, bro, why are you so calm? Why is it like anytime we have like an issue with something, not even pool hall related, just something else. He's like, bro, you can't do anything about it. So why are you gonna stress? I'm like, you gotta stress. He's like, but it's not gonna change.
Yeah.
Right? So like Muhammad is that kind of guy where it's
a balance. It's a balance, yeah.
Right? So he's the more calm, collected guy, and then I'm more like the.
But you know what? You need that too, though. Sometimes
I do.
Because sometimes people try to like maybe
downplay it.
Yeah. So sometimes you need that, but it definitely is important. To have that as well. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of like that, and he's
the opposite.
So sometimes we need that because I'm the type of person that get things done. And, But definitely it's good to be calm, cool. I mean, that's probably the best way you should probably carry yourself is that. So make things.
You live longer.
Yeah.
You live longer.
Exactly, man. So, why is giving back to the community important? I mean, doing the community work and getting community involved,
Yeah, man. It's for me personally, right? It's you grew up on the east side of Dearborn. There's not a lot of money. So there's not a lot of people that are in the mental space to give back. They're worried about themselves, and they should be, right? It's tough out here.
Yeah.
We're in the situation where we can help people, right? And not saying that we have a bunch of money we're sitting on, but we have jobs, we have good jobs, and we try our best. So if we can do it in a way to where the motivation is, one, obviously to help these kids out, but 2, it's because nobody really ever did it for us, right? Obviously, our parents looked out for us, our family looked out for us. Everybody did a great job. But I'm talking the extended community. So if we can do something for them, and not only that, it's a snowball effect. This guy sees him do it, another guy is going to do it because he did it, and then all of a sudden you have 1,000 people that want to donate to a good cause. And obviously, there's so many good causes right now, and there's some that really stick out right now, and we're doing everything we can, and we're proud to do it. But the goal is to try to make somebody else do it too, right? It's have that positive influence on not only like Dearborn and Dearborn Heights businessmen, but like people in general, right? Keep the main thing, and that's humanity and taking care of our people, and the rest will fall in line. So that's huge to us.
No, for sure, man. And I could tell that's like something that is, very important to the both of you guys. So, and then that's kind of leading me to my next question, but I want to read off a couple of comments right quick. So we got, alhamdulillah, shout out to the most honorable, respectful men, Ali Mohamed Bazzi. That's from Cal. And I don't, shout out to Cal. And then we got T, I think might be related to him. I'm so proud of your accomplishments, alhamdulillah. And then Ilham Bazzi said, alhamdulillah, so proud of you both. You know, they're giving you,
that's my wife.
they're giving shout outs.
She's our aunt, so shout out to her too.
Yeah, they are giving the shout out. So shout out to all of you. Thank you for commenting. You know, we're here. I have it right here next to me. Have any questions y'all may have, about the pull hall or anything like that, feel free to shoot them away. So you guys mentioned how you guys have given back to the community.
Yeah.
How has the Dearborn Heights community shaped you guys into who you guys are today? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did it make you guys into who y'all are today and kind of got you to where you are?
I think it's a collective effort, right? And I think not only does a community play in place, Dearborn Heights, because you surround yourself with people like you, right? You surround yourself with people that think like you. You surround yourself with people that might have the same mindset, that might have the same goals as you, right? So in that aspect, I give the city of Dearborn Heights that, right? They're very good at keeping a tight-knit group. I want to, and I'm going to speak for both of us, I want to actually give all the credit to my parents.
There you go.
100%. My parents. My mom was telling me stories. She would tell all of us stories. It's me, my brother, my sister. So there's three of us. She would tell us stories, man, where it was so tough that they would check in between cushions in the couch for money to get us food, right? Like, it was that tough. So aside from the city having our back and making sure that we're in a community where it's safe, healthy, mental health is huge nowadays, our parents made sure that we didn't feel that, right? Where we weren't like, oh man, it's not looking good. We never felt that. So like my dad, we barely saw him. He used to wake up. We used to wake up at 7 o'clock to go to school. My dad used to wake up at 9 o'clock. He was a manager at Kirby's Coney Island for 22 years, right? He used to wake up at 9, and then he used to come home at 11 o'clock every day, except for Sunday, right? Sunday was a half a day, right? So he used to come home at 6. So by the time we came back from school, we were asleep at 8:30. We never saw him. The guy was working his butt off day in and day out. My mom, 2 jobs at one point. 2 jobs. We used to have a dollar store in River Rouge, right? In the hood. And there was times where we'd get robbed. Who's there? My mom. My mom's there. I'm only like 10 years old, right? Muhammad's like 4. So like, to go off of your question, has the city provided for us? It has. I'm not gonna take that away from them. But our parents are the ones that had to strive, had to pay the bills, they had to get the food, had to make sure the electricity is on, had to make sure that taxes were paid, they had to make sure they had to buy a house, cars. What are they gonna do when we go to college? I think to myself, if me and Muhammad didn't get a scholarship to go to college, what would we have done? I don't know what we would have done.
Would you ever went to school?
I probably would have, but I probably would have been like $100,000 in debt, right? So it's our parents. It's the people before us. And it's the people before them. So like my parents, my mom's dad, and my dad's dad, God rest his soul, he just passed away in May. They also had to provide, right? Like they came to this country, there's nothing here. There's nothing here for them. They're like, well, I got $20 in my pocket. Let me see what I could do. They got the jobs at the factories. They got the jobs at the restaurants. They got the jobs at the gas stations. Okay, but what is there to? How are you gonna provide for the future? Well, there's nothing here. There's no means. So like my dad's generation, right? They had to start from zero. They had to start from scratch. My dad came to this country, and he went to New York in 1990, selling T-shirts on the street of Harlem for $5. So he was telling me and Muhammad the story, and every time I say this story, man, it gets me. So he's telling me and Muhammad the story, and he said, I would sell T-shirts We'd have a little studio apartment. There's 4 or 5 guys. We'd have a little studio apartment, and we all had to split the rent. And I said, so what if you didn't sell enough T-shirts? By the way, it's month to month. There's no contracts back then in 1989 where it's like 2-year, 3-year, right? I said, what would you do if you didn't sell? He's like, we'd all sleep in the car. Me and Muhammad over here have a pool hall. I'm in the law enforcement background, right? Muhammad's an assistant coach for a top university. We have our car charging stations. It's to the point where it's like, man, alhamdulillah, we are blessed, because I don't know how I would have done it back then. Sleeping in a car with 4 or 5 other guys trying to make it. I said, how'd you guys go out for dinner? He's like, sometimes we'd split like 2 sandwiches amongst 4 guys. So has the community provided? 100%. Keeping it tight knit, making sure that we are united as a family, making sure that when I see somebody on the road getting in a car accident, well, let me go help him out. Why? Automatically, because he's your own. You're going to take care of your own. But my parents, my mom and my dad have just been, they set the tone. My dad till this day says, Baba, it's okay to struggle, because at the end of the day, you'll be fine. It's okay to struggle, because if you struggle now, you ain't going to struggle later, right? So like everybody thinks around the high school time, especially me, like I'm like, oh, high school's great. This is going to be my life. Oh, it's completely different. Completely different than what I thought. So my dad's always telling us, it's okay. You're going to struggle, but at the end of it, there's a reward. But at the same time, he's like, always make sure that you have a clean heart. Always make sure that you have good intentions. Good intentions goes a long way. And that's my answer to that question.
First of all, go ahead and give him a round of applause, man. That was the reason why I'm so happy that you said that, man, because the question obviously was more geared towards the community, and I'm happy that you were honest and said it straight up about how you really felt. But I feel like, who might end up watching this more like, so the younger generation, like I feel like they forget about, giving the people before you that recognition.
Yeah.
For you to come in here, an adult who's giving that recognition to people before you. I mean, obviously your parents, like, that's one thing that worries me sometimes with these young generations. Like, they're probably in that age group where, how it is when you're at that age, and, it's your friends before your family, kind of. I appreciate you for saying that, because it's important. It's definitely important. And, you got to give that recognition, because they did pave the way. Like, a lot of our parents' stories are a lot similar to that, coming from a different, countries, and they have nothing. Literally, they came here with nothing.
Zero.
And they had to get started. So it's like our struggles, it may be a struggle, but when you reflect and see what our families may have gone through, you realize that you say alhamdulillah, because like you said, I sometimes ask myself, like, I don't know if I would have been able to do some of that stuff that they were doing.
I want to add on to that. So yesterday, like I said, I work for the Department of Homeland Security. I work at the border, and I do a lot of outreach events in our community, right? So yesterday, one of the events was to visit House School, which is where the Michael Berry Center is on Ann Arbor Trail. Shout out to those guys, because the whole staff was just great, right? All the children were the ages of 18 to 26. They're all physically, cognitively, and visually impaired, right? You got like federal officers coming in there trying to relate to them. So you're automatically put in a situation where it's not your customary situation. So when we go and do outreach events, we go to universities, we go to colleges, we go to high schools, we try to let people know who we are. Mm-hmm. Yesterday put it into perspective of how lucky we are just on a health standpoint. You had kids that couldn't see. They're operating at a level of a 10 or even 11-year-old, or 9 or 10-year-old, right? They couldn't walk. They were in wheelchairs. They're looking at you because you have your uniform on, you got your vest on, you got this, you got that, looking at you like, why are you here, right? But they're so happy to see you because they don't see people like us, right? So just in that perspective, yesterday I was there for about 3-4 hours, and it was the best event I've ever done in respect to all the events that I've done at work, because when I left there, I called my wife. I said, listen, for all the issues that I think I have in my life, nowhere close. I met a guy, his name is Abrar, yesterday, and Abrar is 22 years old. The man had a Hype basketball jersey. Shout out to Hype Athletics, because those guys are awesome. Ali Said's a great dude.
We had him on the show.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, both. We had Ali and No, I forgot his name.
Billy?
Not Billy. It's Robbie.
Oh, Robbie.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, those guys are great, man. Hype Athletics. They actually have a basketball league for the children that are like that are cognitively or physically impaired, which is huge. So I called my wife. I said, listen, for all the issues that I'm telling you I have or I think I have, they're gone. My kids are healthy. My parents are healthy. My siblings are healthy. I'm healthy. My grandparents are healthy. Like, health is wealth, and I say that all the time, and I truly mean that, especially after yesterday. It's huge. Absolutely huge. So that's one thing to always keep in mind.
Going off to you as well, kind of similar question, I guess. And I don't know if your answer is going to be similar, and I mean, maybe he covered most of it.
I can't.
You can't top it?
Yeah.
Come on. No, but the way we live is we live for our family, and as much as Dearborn Heights is a great place to be, like I said, we keep the main thing, and that's our family. So we support as much as we can. We don't expect any support back. If we do get support, it's amazing. But we do it because we think we were raised the right way, and that's all about. I can't really top it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he pretty much. It seems like that's something that your whole family kind of instilled in you guys, and alhamdulillah, it's something that definitely can go well for the both of you as well. And so my next question is future. Like what's some future plans? I know you guys said you have a tournament coming up in December. Any ideas or big plans, or or maybe something that you would like to see continue or eventually come along when it comes to the corner pocket or just community work, whatever you want to share. Any future goals and plans?
Yeah, we're always trying to find something new, in terms of like ideas and ways to get the city and the community more involved. We have a tournament coming up in the winter, in December. So this month, probably in a couple weeks, and it'll be our biggest one yet, just so people have enough money for the holidays. It'll be full cash prizes, so people can do what they want with it. And we know this is a tough time for a lot of people. So, I mean, they have to win a pool game, but if you can win a pool game, then your tough times will hopefully be a little less tough. But yeah, so we have that, and I mean, the Amity Foundation does a good job at keeping us involved in terms of like community outreach and fundraising and donations. So we try everything we can in terms of that too. But no, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's the end of the year. It's been a long year, man. It's been a long year. So we're trying to find just some downtime to get some shut eye and to sit back and drink a cup of coffee and smoke a cigar with no headache. But no, man, we do everything we can, and we're going to continuously do it. Obviously, you can always do more, so we're going to continuously strive for that. Yeah, so anybody that is open to sponsor the tournaments, we've had great sponsors of the past 2 tournaments. We're completely open to that. We're open to like spreading the word, spreading the wealth, whatever you want to call it. But we're open to making sure that we're in ties with everybody else, whether it be a real estate agent, whether it be local business owners, whether it be anybody that's interested in sponsoring our next tournament. We're completely open. If you guys have any other ideas, feel free to give us a call or even DM us on Instagram. We're completely open. So we're just open to make sure that everybody's got their own way of spreading their word.
Inshallah, man, you guys are doing awesome work. We're going to give a shout out to one more sponsor, and then we're going to have this little battle. We're going to have a brother battle of a questions game. I'm sorry, I know we went from serious conversation to a little bit of fun, but it's going to be a little fun game that we usually do on this podcast, just to make sure, like, whoever the guest may be, and obviously the panel is paying attention to some of the conversations that were kind of being had. But Hanley International Academy, Ramsey, the school that I used to work at, these guys got promoted from. We appreciate them and their support. So shout out to Hanley International Academy. And then we're going to have a little bit of fun. And then we're going to end it with some motivation too. If you haven't been motivated yet, hopefully they have some kind of motivation in their back pocket that they can give you. And then we're going to keep it rolling. So shout out to Hanley International Academy.
Yusuf, you seem like a pretty smart man. What elementary/middle school did you get promoted from?
The one and only Hanley International Academy.
Hanley International Academy is a school that treats every student and staff like their own family. It's even in their vision statement, educating your child like our own. Their location is 2400 Denton Street, Hamtramck, Michigan. Their phone number is 313-875-8888. The academics there are great. The athletics there are great. Thank you to the staff and administrators at Hanley for educating our leaders of tomorrow.
We probably should have.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? All right. So with that said, first of all, I know you guys kind of mentioned your jobs. Is there like, can y'all like just like for instance, like, can you tell us what you do? I know we didn't really touch on it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's very cool. Both of your jobs are really cool and interesting. And I don't know if a lot of people even know. I mean, I don't know how much you can dive into that, but we want to start off. Just give us a little bit of heads up of like your job and what you do exactly.
Yeah. So we dabble in everything, but our first project was we had the cigar lounge, Don V Cigar Lounge. We sold that after a year and a half. We don't get attached to anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Everything's for sale.
Everything. If somebody has, like, if a number makes sense, obviously the numbers have to make sense. We don't get attached. There's no sentimental value. So, except for the pool hall, we love the pool hall.
Right.
We've been offered probably 10, 12 times to sell the pool.
When was the open date for the pool hall, by the way?
May 9th.
May 9th.
May 9th. So, 7 months basically. 7-month anniversary coming soon.
Yeah. And we've been offered like 20 times. It's crazy. Every week somebody walks in. And obviously if the numbers make sense, it's something to think about, right? But yeah, so we started with the cigar lounge, sold it. We started an electric car charging company, which is in the process of being acquired right now by a big company. Pool hall. So last year I was the head coach at Star International Academy where we went to school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we
League champs. First time in history.
First time ever. We went 16-5, league champs, best record ever. And then that's kind of how I ended up being at U of M. So that whole thing happened. So I'm assistant coach, second chair.
You enjoy that?
It's fun, man. It's a lot of work.
It is.
I bet.
A lot of work. And it's so everybody thinks they know basketball. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, when you say work, what do you mean by work?
Yeah, so it's when everybody thinks, like, when you say, oh, I coach basketball, it's like X's and O's, and that's a huge part. But man, the business side of it is, because in college it's the same thing, right? You're dealing with budgets, you're dealing with fundraising, you're dealing with scholarship money, you're dealing with a bunch, and thank God a lot of that is on the head coach. But like seeing how tough that job is I would obviously one day I strive to be a head coach, but it's tough. But it's a lot of work. So in terms of like yesterday, every Friday we go to my parents' house. Every Tuesday and Friday we go to my parents' house, and we drop everything in the world to make sure we go to my parents' house on Tuesdays and Fridays. I had to leave half hour early because I had to go to Divine Child and watch Devin play, and it's a lot of that. So it's a lot of traveling. Like this upcoming week, we're gonna be in Saginaw, we're going to be in Gaylord, we're going to be in Mount Pleasant. Like, you're talking round trip, all three of those trips is at least 16 hours driving, So in terms of that, it's a lot of work. And then the X's and O's. So I thought I knew a lot about basketball, playing college, playing professionally, coaching at high school. It's a completely different language on the college level, completely, like being behind the scenes. So it's a lot of work.
I just want to say this just quickly before we go to you, Ali, is you know how you said it's a lot of work?
Yeah.
But like when it boils down to it, does it like make you be like, okay, like, because you know how you watch the game, you be like, man, it came down to 1 or 2 plays. You know what I'm saying? Or like, why didn't this guy just make that,
Right.
Cut or whatever,
Yeah.
Like, is it like that, or is it like it's still deeper than that? You know what I mean?
So deep.
Okay.
So deep. So like, especially now, because everybody's going like the analytics route.
Yeah.
I'm still on the fence on if I think analytics are worth taking a look at, because it complicates everything.
It does.
So that I'm still on the fence about, but I think the biggest thing for me is in terms of setting up, your matchups in college are the biggest thing that you have to worry about. Because our best defender, his name is Troy Campbell, 5'10", 5'11", but he's guarding 6'5", 6'6" every game. And the issue is 6'5", 6'6" in high school is a center. 6'5", 6'6" in college is a 2 guard.
Yeah.
So it's like, you have that like Dearborn mentality where, oh, he's big, he has to be a center. And that's only a mentality in Dearborn Heights. Nowhere else it's that. And then you go to the college level and you're like, how the heck is Troy going to guard this guy? He guarded, yesterday we played Hada's old school. So Hada played college too. Played at Concordia.
Yeah.
Last couple days ago, U of M played Hada's old school.
You guys lost, by the way.
And we lost. Their starting 2 guard He's a Division I transfer. He's 6'5". He averaged 33 a game. He's leading the country, maybe second in the country in scoring. Troy Campbell, who's 5'10", held him to 16 points. And, like, you think about that, and you're like, anybody would be like, oh, just post him up, sit in the post. Or you're a foot taller than the guy. It's not like that on the college level. There's so many different, not only is it like your formations on defense, but like your different rotations. You're talking like if we're digging or choking, if we're, drop 2 or drop 3. There's words that I just learned, and I'm like, there's a simpler way to say it, obviously, but they like to have their own language. Like it's like a cult. College coaches are all part of like a cult. Like they can say backdoor, but they'd rather say another word for it just to make it seem more complicated. So it's a fine line between more complicated and we overcomplicate it on purpose, but that's a lot of work. Oh, and I work in software, so that's my day job. So I work in
MashaAllah. Very busy man.
Man. Usually, you see the bags under that.
It's good though. It's good to be.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. How about you, Homeland Security, man? That's an interesting position right there.
I could talk about it a little bit. I don't want to delve into.
Yeah.
I work for the United States Customs and Border Protection. I'm a federal officer there. It's my 8th year there. I got hired in when I was 21 years old, straight out of college. It's a rewarding job. It's a tough job, and it's a huge responsibility. Right? Not a lot of people could say that they work to make sure that nothing bad happens at home. Because if something bad happens here, it's not only affecting me, it's affecting you, it's affecting him, it's affecting everybody. Right? So it's a very, very, very meticulous, mentally meticulous job. That's one. 2, I'm also a national recruiter for U.S. Customs. So the Explorer program, by the way, December 5th at 5 o'clock. It's actually on our Instagram page. If anybody from the ages 14 to 20 is even thinking about law enforcement, it's all free. You get trained by us, right? It's basically 1 day a week. I think it's every Tuesday. And then we train you from everything from handcuffing to immigration law to customs law. Everything that you would think as a law enforcement officer that you need, we train you. So if you guys are interested in that, they can DM us on Instagram.
Do they have to go to college for this?
No.
Okay.
It's for the youth, 14 to 20.
Yeah.
And 1 day a week. And you guys there's an open house December 5th in Detroit. I'm going to post it again on our story. So anybody that's interested in that, feel free to DM us, even on the Corner Pocket. Instagram is fine. So yeah, I do that as well. Like Muhammad said, the electrical charging stations, it's in the process of being acquired by a bigger company, which that was the goal from the get-go. We said, so basically how that started was, you have all these, so when you go to Meyer, you have all these Tesla chargers.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with EV or not, that's a different story. Everybody politicizes everything. We're not politicizing anything. We thought it was a great idea. He thought it was a great idea. And I'm like, that's a heck of an idea. So basically, you go to Meyer, you see all these Tesla chargers, and all these guys just go in there and start charging the cars. So I was like, Muhammad, so the story is Muhammad bought a Tesla. He called me. Ali. I said, yeah. He's like, I got 32 miles on this thing, and I have like 42 miles to get home. What do I do?
Yeah.
So you go to a charger. He's like, the charger's like 9 miles away. I said, so that's only like 1 mile left to spare.
Yeah.
So what does he do when he gets cut off, right? So Muhammad's like, bro, why don't we just put why don't we put chargers at gas stations, right? Because for every location's got gas stations. Every city's got gas stations. Some of them, they're across the street from each other. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, that's a heck of an idea. So we basically got in contact with a manufacturer that makes chargers. We're like, we need a lot. We bought a lot of chargers. We started soliciting. We actually went on Fox 2 News. They did an interview with us. 6 o'clock the same day, they were like, we want to do an interview. We're like, okay. My father-in-law has a gas station on Plymouth Beach Deli in Redford. Shout out to him because he gave us the opportunity to do this at his place. It's a BP gas station. I said, could we do, Fox 2 wants to come and do a shoot. He's like, shoot for what? I said, we're starting an electric car charging station. He's like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. He's like, yeah, come do it. I said, all right, perfect. So we did it there. Blew up. You go on YouTube, it's there. It's got like 20,000 views, right? In a matter of like a year or something like that. So I was like, from 2 guys from Dearborn, it's pretty good, right? So Muhammad was getting calls left and right to the point where we had to get another phone because Muhammad's phone was getting blown up. Muhammad's like, I gotta get another phone. There's no way. He would call me off his personal phone, and people would be calling him on the on the business phone, hey, we need chargers at this gas station. We need chargers at this hotel. We need chargers at this at the Planet Fitness. We need chargers at the. It was just insane. So I'm like, okay, perfect. It's being acquired. We can't say who it's being acquired for yet, but once it is acquired, inshallah, hopefully you guys will know via TCD. So that was the whole like process of getting that done. Corner Pocket's our baby right now, man. Like we're making sure that we're setting ourselves apart from everybody else, and it's not a dig on anybody else. We're not taking shots at anybody, but we just feel like we offer more, right? Not only as a pool hall, but as people. Like me and Muhammad are, and I'm gonna selfishly say it, I think we are the most selfless people you could find, right? Like our first tournament, I'll tell you, we didn't make any money, but we did it because to bring these guys in, to look forward to something. We did it because we were like, there's nothing else happening in the city, especially for the youth. We had like 50 something people at this tournament. 80% of them were the ages of 17 and under, trying to do something, trying to win, PS5. That's not the point. The point was that the fact that they put something in their mind, they were like, you know what, let me give it a shot. That same kid could be somewhere else doing something else that he's not supposed to be doing, where his mom and dad don't know what he's doing. Alhamdulillah, he's with us. And like to the parents out there, they're like, when your son or even daughter says we're going to the Corner Pocket, put it on us. It's okay. They're okay at the Corner Pocket. They're all right. And like alhamdulillah, even our sisters, right? They want, like Muhammad touched on, they want a birthday party, you want a girls' night out. We got private rooms. We got 5 private rooms, right? All that could be turned into a private room. Nobody touches the sisters, right? Nobody talks to them. Nobody messes with them. Nobody's like, nothing's going on to the point where the sisters feel uncomfortable. And that's, I think, what sets us apart, because they come to us and they're like, hey, can we get this private room? Absolutely. There are times, I'm not joking, there are times where I have a set of sisters that want the private room and a set of brothers that want the private room. I tell the guys, listen, they're going to take the private room because, even though you guys come at the same time, they're going to take the private room. Once they leave, you guys can go in. But our main concern is to make sure everybody is comfortable, not just the brothers, not just the young guys, the young girls too. Think about it. How many places can the young sisters go in our community with just privacy, just the girls, unless they rent out like Hemlock Park's cabin, for example, or like a restaurant at Habib's where you can get like a little seclusion in the back. There's no other place. There's no other place to go because they're around everybody. Sometimes they need their time too. Yeah. Just like the guys, sometimes you guys want to hang out, chill out, watch some football. What about the sisters? What about the girls? They can go chill out at the Corner Pocket, get a private room for 2, 3, 4 hours and have a good time. Nobody bothers them. When they come out, I like, how's everything going? How was everything when you went in there? Like, oh, it's great. I'm like, okay, that's what I want to hear. Have a good day. They'll come back. So I think it's an inclusion of everybody, right? We can't just think about just the guys. We can't just think about just the girls. We got to think about everybody. And from, like Muhammad said, the ages of 3 and up, we got you covered.
I agree. And great points, man. I mean, honestly, I can't even think of anything there where they feel comfortable going unless they're like out there. And some of them obviously don't want to be out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just want to quickly read off some of these shout outs. Dalal Bazzi, Allah yawafaqhum. Zachary, heart emojis. Zainat Bazzi did the prayer emojis. Ali Bazzi, shout out to the greatest in Dearborn. Love from your family in Windsor, Canada. Zainat said respect. Ali Bazzi, so proud of you guys. That's from Amatu Hela from Windsor, Canada. Big shout out to the Bazzi Bros. I'm honored to know them and see what they are bringing to the community. Keep up the great work. Martinez. Oh, yeah. And then Alisar said, wonderful podcast and an awesome family. Thank you. If you guys are watching, be sure to follow, subscribe. We appreciate that. Obviously, that's kind of what we it's what we want. It's what we do. It's what we do. We have a bunch of community conversations with different people. And so we appreciate these guys for coming in. With that said, let's have a quick little brother battle on. Here should be funny. Like I said, very simple questions, guys. This is more so of who's gonna hit the buzzer first. You know what I'm saying? So they both have buzzers. We got Ali and Mohamed Bazzi going up at it, going up against each other. So this is what we do, a questions game, just to have a little bit of fun. Again, very simple questions. All I ask is that wait till the question is over. We've had arguments in the past where people hit the buzzer before the question's over, So we'll see how this goes, all right? So first question, here we go, all right? Including the white one, how many total balls are there used in the game of pool?
16.
16 is correct.
I
all
beat
right?
you on that?
Yeah. Yeah.
took me a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Give him a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. So, Big Bro's in the lead right now, 1-0. Here we
right.
go.
Usual.
16.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. That's including the white ball as well. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I Google that stuff. Like I said, I'm terrible. I'm terrible at But see, this is what the question game does. It gets you laughing and stuff. You know, it's
So
funny.
confused.
All right. So, this one's tough. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. This one's tough. Because I Googled.
Can I answer it?
I Googled it. You ain't gonna know it,
No,
trust me.
okay.
But good luck. Yes, you can more than welcome to answer us, okay? This might be opinionated, all right? So, who is widely regarded as the greatest pool player of all time and is known as the Magician?
Efron.
Wow. Wow.
You know what's crazy? I learned it from him. I learned That's the crazy part. I learned it from him.
And I was gonna wait for the question to be.
Yeah, man.
It is.
Crazy.
No,
What do you
it
mean?
close,
It was-
right?
It was very
It
close.
was really close.
Nah, I was done.
Oh, he was done.
I was done.
I learned it from him. That's,
That's
the funny
so
part.
funny.
I gotta take it easy on little bro.
What's Efron's last name?
Sanchez?
Reyes.
Reyes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
good.
funny.
Get my butt whooped
All right, here we go. Final. See, this is what sucks. I usually like it when it's 1-1, but it's 2-0 right now.
Take
All
it.
right. Final question. What's the name of the first and original pool hall in Dearborn Heights?
I know this because the corner pocket.
There you go. All
But
right.
technically, there was one years ago.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
well,
It's in Dearborn.
But you
the
know-
Cozy Q.
The Cozy Q.
well, we ain't worried about that right now. We're worried about
corner pocket.
corner
baby.
pocket. There you go. Go ahead and give him a round of applause. All right. Great game right there between the brothers. Appreciate you guys.
Hold on, real quick. You guys, obviously, basketball players. 2v2, y'all two versus me and my brother. Y'all winning?
Oh man, you don't
Wait,
put us on the spot,
Who
man.
gets the ball first?
That does not
Are
matter.
you gonna give us ball first?
You guys are
You're
We're
done.
playing at
Because
21.
what he's gonna say is we're not getting the
I know,
ball back.
that's what I'm
21-0. 21-0. If you get the ball first, maybe 21-1.
I thought he was gonna ask a different question.
Who's better? Go ahead, Luke. You want to
no,
answer
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Because we ain't want to put you on an awkward situation.
Here's the thing.
Oh, we have this conversation every day.
We have that. So we play basketball once a week.
Okay.
With a bunch of our guys. Well, they've been kind of lazy lately, but whatever. No, the question's always asked, and depending on how I'm feeling, I always say me. But in reality, I think we complement each other. To be honest with you, like if you tell me you're gonna have a shootout with your brother, I'm losing. There's no way. The guy is an assassin when it comes to shooting the ball. But when it comes to all-around player, I'm just saying.
Look. He's a better defender than I was. That's pretty much it. he's quicker than I was, but I was craftier with the ball. I could shoot it better than he did. My handle was a little looser, but because I had to play looser because he's 3 inches taller than me.
Yeah.
Right. And so I have to be. My crossovers have to be wider.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's close, but I'll give the older brother the edge.
Look at
There
that.
you go.
Respect.
Yeah, respect to the older brother, man. We got to respect that for sure. All right. With that said, this is the part where we typically call it the weekend motivation. This is the part where we give people something that they can take away. Give you guys some time to think about it while I tell you guys again. All the shout outs and everything else. So maybe think about something that you guys can take away. And I typically make this the clip that we post on social media. But the one that you were talking about with the parents and stuff, man,
That might be it,
That
right?
might be it. But if you guys come up with something great as well too, we'd love to maybe pull that out as well. So while you guys are thinking, again, this is Oz Media, the Movement Podcast. We go live every Saturdays. Be sure to follow us. We got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok all under Oz Media. You can listen to our shows on Apple and Spotify podcasts under Oz Media. Future reference, you want to call in, the number is 313-306-1750. Of course, we got to give the shout out to the sponsors as well. You got Balkan House, you got BC Adhesives, you got Hanley International Academy, Juice Box, Qahwah House, Specialty Medical Center, and Sid Bees. I think Juice Box as well. I don't know if I mentioned them or not, but appreciate them and all that they do and all of their support. And so with that said, we can start off with Big Bro, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So Big Bro, can you tell us, Ali, what's some weekend motivation that you would want the audience to take with them, not just for the weekend, but for the rest of their lives?
One word comes to mind. It's accountability. Make sure you're accountable for your actions. What you do now will affect what happens later on. You might not think so, but what you do on a day-to-day basis will affect you It might not be 5, might not be 10, maybe 15 years from now, you'll be like, man, I should have never did that, or I should have done this. And I'm not talking about business deals. I'm talking about everything: the way you speak to people, the way you treat people, the way you're looked at by your peers, the decisions that you make behind closed doors when nobody's looking at you, the things that come out of your mouth. Make sure you're accountable for your actions, because eventually it'll come back either for it to be a blessing, or it could hurt you. Inshallah, it will be a blessing.
That's great. That's great. All right. And then little brother Mohammed, can you give us some weekend motivation as well?
Yeah. I think the one thing that comes to mind is, if you want to be successful in something that isn't normal, you have to be completely obsessed with it. And if that thing is going to set you apart, then that obsession is completely worth it. So find something that you love to do, be obsessed with it, and see how far it takes you.
That is great. That is great. Go ahead and give these guys a round of applause one more time, Ramsey. We hope that you guys enjoyed this conversation. It's time for some final words, final comments. Yusuf, any final things you want to say to our wonderful guests here?
First off, thank you guys very much for
Appreciate
coming on, Ali and Mo. And I really believe you guys will not beat us in the season. Seriously.
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys say you guys play, what, once a week or something?
Let's take the long road.
Maybe the next time we play, we'll invite you guys out.
There you guys go.
Down for it?
I'm down.
Down?
I'm open to
I
it.
got your number.
What days
We
do you
should
guys?
play Wednesdays.
That's actually a good day.
Okay. Well, we'll set it up.
Wednesdays is, yeah.
Khalas. We'll set it up. It gets a little intense, though.
Oh,
Okay.
we're very nice on this podcast, but believe it or not, things can get weird.
He's a different guy.
Yeah.
When it comes to the sports. But any final words, final comments?
I want to thank you guys. I really do want to thank you guys. It's a great platform. Very professional. From the minute we walked in, even from the minute that you guys even reached out to us, man. You guys have been professional, respectful, everything. I want to send out, put our hand out, sponsoring you guys. You guys, it's a phone call away. You guys, anything you guys need, it's a phone call away. And I'm talking on behalf of myself and my brother. The setup was great. The questions were great. Your intentions are clean. Alhamdulillah, we could see that. Ramsey behind the scenes, man. I don't think this guy gets a lot of credit.
No, he's the man. Give yourself a round of applause, man.
He does
Ramsey.
a lot. He does a lot behind the scenes. I don't think people know that.
Yeah.
But you guys are doing a heck of a job, and I genuinely hope you guys get bigger and bigger and bigger, because we need it. We need it in our community. We need it for our people. We need it for to make sure that our voice is heard, because there's so many stories. There's so many people that are so successful in our community people don't know about. Like, our goal was to make sure that somebody listens to this, right, and says, you know what, well, these guys, I want to do this. Even if it's 1% of what we said, even if it's just 1%. Our goal was to be like, you know what, let's give these guys a platform or a show to the point where they're like, they walk away and they're like, well, accountability, that's huge. Do something you're obsessed with. Well, I'm going to do that. So I want to give you guys all the credit and all the respect for even having this, because I know it's not an easy operation. So if you guys can't see any of this, but behind the scenes, they got cameras, they got lights, they got everything, furniture. These microphones alone, man, like it's a lot. And I give you guys a lot of credit. And like I said, if you guys need anything from us, we are 100% backing you. Oz Media is the way to go, bro. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. And you try to preach that to these guys. They're young and stuff, and I tried to tell them, you guys are doing, great things, and I appreciate it when it comes from somebody else. You know how it is. When you keep hearing it from somebody that you don't know if you could believe it or not. But I try. These guys. He does this behind the scenes for this show, but Yusuf is the behind the scenes for the other two shows. So I always try to tell them, thank you so much for the work that
you're only as good as them, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Without, I mean, two hands got to clap. One hand can't clap by itself. So these guys are doing great. I wish I would have met everybody else, but it seems like you guys have everything down packed, man, and it's only gonna get better and better. Inshallah, sponsorships comes double and triple.
Thank you, man. Inshallah, I appreciate you, Coach. Any final words from you, Coach?
Yes, thank you for this. This was fun. And like Ali said, if you guys need anything at all, don't hesitate. That's pretty much it. We actually have a game today. So
yeah, Madonna, right? Your alma mater.
Old school right now.
Good luck.
3 o'clock. U of M.
Yeah, 3 o'clock. We got to be there, and I got to be there in like half hour. But yeah, I'm excited. And look, I made a vow when I took this job is I'm going to try to get the community more involved. Right, U of M Dearborn, it's in the biggest concentrated city in America when it comes to Arab, and we didn't have an Arabic guy on the team. So that's what I'm pushing for this upcoming season. So that'll be my first recruiting class. So if anybody's got some, guys that they think they can play at that next level, DM us or just so I can take a look at them. But I'm gonna try to get as many Arab as we can on that team. Just to.
Is there a big man on Fortson? What's his name?
He's going D1, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Central?
He's side Central.
Okay, he's going with that coach Hizam.
Yeah.
Niz.
Yeah,
Yeah, Coach Niz.
shout out to Niz, man.
Yeah.
Good.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Good dude.
So yeah, I know we had a game. So we used to like record high school games. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna do that this year just because of scheduling and all that. But I met him last year, and he was solid. I know he was a junior.
Yeah, he's also 6'10".
Yeah, he's
He
huge.
plays like a guard.
I was interviewing him. I had my microphone like this, mashallah. You know what I'm saying? He was,
I when I got in this year, you obviously have a list of the guys that you're going after, and he was top on my list. I never even got the opportunity to reach out to him because I went and watched him in Grand Rapids, and I'm like, this kid's too good to play at the Division II level. So I'm very, I don't know him personally, but I'm still proud of him for playing at that. He's the first guy in Dearborn in a long time to play at the Division I level.
yeah.
So, I'm proud of that. There's some kid at Dearborn right now that I'm really working on. His name is Nassim Hamoud. Do you know him, Ramsey? Yeah. I'm trying to. If I can get him at U of M, I'll be a happy guy. So.
Well, good luck, coach. Inshallah.
Ramsey, if you can put in a good word, dude.
All right. Well, with that said, guys, we hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you all next week. Have a great rest of your day and rest of your weekend, and be safe out there. And free Palestine. We're gonna make sure we always say that. So we appreciate you all for tuning in. We'll see you all.